Hey everybody, welcome back. We're playing Isaac. We're randomizing. We're getting Tainted Keeper to Mega Satan, and you know what? We're not sweating it. He's mad, but he ain't stressing. True friends. One question. That is Tainted Keeper, right? With the dollar sign on the forehead? Yep. That's good though. That like Tainted Keeper, I mean Mega Satan is hard, don't get me wrong, but Tainted Keeper is like it's not that bad. Especially, I mean, what if we just played the Eddie Room and, like, won the game right here? You ever consider the possibility of that scenario coming to pass? I mean, like, look at this situation right here. I'm kind of willing to send it, man. Are you silly? I'm just gonna send it. Hey, don't hit me, you sussy baka. If we're confident... well, I guess a better question is, how confident am I? That's, pure garbage. Thank you. Definitely, you know what? We look at this and we say, thank you for saving me 15 cents. So I'm willing to risk it all here to get an angel deal on this floor. What that means is I'm willing to walk in here, and if it pays out, great. If it doesn't, though, I'm not sweating. Wow, we're actually, like, in a great spot. 33% chance for one random angel room item. That's fine. 100% chance for 7 troll bombs. You just get in and leave. Saved. We spawn Ariel. We leave. Then this is the big payout. And look at that. I mean, we don't have to pick up all the money. But I'm gonna pick up all the money. So on the first floor, that's a really good payout. And then you also got to remember, right? We're supposed to fight the angel statue in order to get the key piece. I guess it would be nice to do it early. Oh my god, though. Look at this. Hold on. Okay, so there's options, especially this early, seems super important. A tears upgrade is very good. Moldy tears, I'm pretty stoked about as well. Like, I think that's well worth the spend. And then we still got, like, we got plays right here. Technically, we could leave this penny behind. Maybe use it to help us out. If we do decide to fight that angel statue on this floor, which we don't have to. But then a strength card against this angel statue, it seems pretty sick. Or, like, you know what I mean by a strength card. Hold on. We still do need, like, some money, if possible, to buy whatever might show up from our shop here. I apologize for, like, I mean, we're starting banter rich right out of the gates here, but it's a bit of a, you know, it's an interesting floor, wouldn't you suggest? It's a bit atypical to start with a floor with this many potential, like, outs when you're playing as Tainted Keeper. I mean, it's really just the power of the Eddie Room. We're looking pretty solid here. Definitely, we can afford to use a bomb. It gave us 2 bombs. What the heck? No! Okay, we lived. Please, please. They were too fast. I've never seen enemies move that fast in my whole life. They were the fastest enemies I've ever seen. A reroll machine. Nobody's even sure what it does. There's a temptation to use the per throw on the item room. But there's also a serious temptation to just use the per throw, like, you know, to save it. But I don't know what we would do with strength then. I guess we would try to fight the angel statue. Do I have confidence that I would beat... yeah, we won't use it on the... Well, I don't know. Now I'm like, maybe we can use per throw on the, on the key piece statue, but or the key piece pedestal. Am I confident that we could beat the boss in a single fight here with 1 HP? Absolutely. I say that knowing that I'm inviting a certain sense of, you know, potential danger into my life. I am not afraid. We'll use a bomb if we have to. Save that for the way out. Was there like a swallowed penny in here? Just asking for a friend. Okay, let's do it. You are the scarier one. Just grab it. We needed that. You gotta... That... I didn't even think about that, but... I think we per throw this. Saved. Saved. Why wouldn't you, right? Because we can guarantee ourselves an angel statue on the 3rd floor or just after it anyway. So why wouldn't we re-roll this to try to become a potential angel deal? I don't think that we're guaranteed if we take the key piece, we're guaranteed a devil deal on the next floor, which we don't want. Then we still get the 100% angel deal precedent from that point onwards. So I'm not, or at least until we get the first deal from that point forward. So I don't think this, I mean, that's obviously not what we're looking for, but it is something, and it does contribute to Bookworm, and I think the key piece actually provides almost nothing. Not in a super negative way, but like just in a realistic way. I think we navigated this floor in the most sensible way possible. Okay. Now, the most important thing is, hey brain, don't accidentally pick up the devil deal. That it happens. Oh, I'd love to get like a shoop de whoop, man. I would love to get a shoop de whoop. I also very much appreciate the opportunity to pick up a staggering amount of coin. Khajiit has wares. If you have... and I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Don't make me talk about Skyrim, man. Oh, come on. Is that what we're going to do today? Redforeman.jpg, we're going to fight? I looked at Skyrim. Skyrim's an important game for me, okay? Because it really was, for me, where I started to realize that I'm a little bit, not like, oh, I'm so twisted, man, but like I'm a little bit off from the AAA, like, standard gamer, if that makes sense. I remember, like, it came out when I was in Korea. I had a terrible laptop that could barely play Flash Isaac. So I wasn't playing Skyrim, let's put it that way. And when I got home, there were 2 games I was excited to play, right? One of them was Dark Souls. One of them was Skyrim. F? No F? I got Skyrim. I remember, like, for half an hour being, like, really enamored with it. And then Lydia got, like... Or it was either me or Lydia, I can't remember. But they got stuck in a rock and couldn't move. Like, they got completely Bethesda'd. And then I said, alright, I'll play it tomorrow. And then I never played it ever again. Until we did it on stream, like, 6 years later or something like that. I don't have anything against it. I'm not trying to, like, you know, poke a hole in the cult of Skyrim or whatever. I don't think that's worth it at all, man. You know, if you love it, then more power to you. But sometimes people will be like, yeah, it's hip to hate Skyrim now, but like back in the day, everyone was loving it. And I'm like, well, no. A lot of people were, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people still are. Like, there's people out there that just, like, you know, their whole well, okay, let me rephrase. This is needlessly rude. I didn't even intend for it to come across slightly like that, but their whole point, their entire gaming history is just playing Skyrim. You know, they just finish work, load up Skyrim. This time I'm gonna join the Thieves Guild, you know, and when they finish that character, you know, run back another character, the lusty Argonian maid, etc., etc. Okay, I mean, there's some great stuff here. I think we have to go for this, and for this. We have enough money to buy a boss item, and we don't want to go to the deal with the devil anyway. And to be honest, I'm not totally convinced that we actually want to buy a cube of meat here. But we'll have there's options, so we'll have some options. Let's see. A speed upgrade, I really don't think it's prudent, honestly. I think we're better off, even though we just got a lot of money, I think we're better off saving our money for the, for whatever we could get on the next floor. Especially knowing that we've got some angel deals coming up. I think we're playing this right. You can laugh all you want. I think we're playing this right. My hunch is that, and I say this, free item, I say this based on like what I see chat say while I play as Tainted Keeper. I feel like the average person is not good at Tainted Keeper. I think they focus a lot on, and this is just this is my, you know, I'm checking the temperature, okay? I'm not saying, I don't have data to back this up. This is just from seeing the timbre of stuff in chat when I'm playing as Tainted Keeper. Like, people fixate less on whether or not an item's worth spending money on, and much more on, like, how can I get enough money to buy every item that shows up. And I typically, fair enough, I think that's a backwards way to think about Isaac in this context, you know? You only get a limited amount of purchasing power. You want to apply it in the best way possible to give you a greater chance of winning. You don't win an Isaac run through, like, agglomerating... I'll give this a try, believe it or not. Mostly because we're rich as heck now. Forward, re... it says he wants to pick up good items, but only spends money on question marks so much. This up dudes to the left. Yeah, okay. See you in the winner's circle, by the way, when we get there. You don't win Isaac by picking up a bunch of, like, you know, 3 out of 10 items. You know, it takes an infinite amount, like an asymptotal amount of 3 out of 10 items to equal 1 9 out of 10. Would you rather have Mom's knife or, like, you know... I mean, I'm not gonna name a bunch of items. Would you rather have Mom's knife or, like, 20 items that are, largely irrelevant? Like, 20 range upgrades. If you would rather have the range upgrades, look, I'm going off. I'm not afraid to say it, okay? I'm going off. If you would rather have 20 range upgrades than Mom's knife, I discount your opinion completely. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could make the greatest ranged run of all time, but I'm not sweating that one. But I'm skeptical. Let me start there. That's worth it, honestly, for Stapler. I don't think Tier Detonator does enough for us. And, you know, it's 5 cents for 3 flies on a boss fight, but it's a one-time cost. We know if we get a deal with the Angel here, we're gonna buy whatever it is anyway. So, as long as we got the cash, I'm feeling solid. Scary. Scary moments. Beautiful. Yeah, anyway. I'm not anti-Skyrim. I'm not part of, well, yes I am, but I'm not like anti-Skyrim just because it's popular. I'm like, you know, it's one of those games that for whatever reason just didn't really like super grab me. I just like, it's too much game. It's really what it comes down to for me. It's just too much game, man. WarioWare, on the other hand, oh, baby. That's just enough game. Almost none. Well, no, actually the opposite. It's like, it's 100% game. Maybe, oh, I'm gonna get hit. Never mind. Never mind. You might say there's not much game, but what is there is 100% game. Its purity is off the charts, even if its actual, you know, tonnage is a little bit lower. Hey, lucky penny. Didn't get it, that's okay. Call me crazy, on this one, the boss items are worth more than the item room items. I just have a hunch that that's not the right play there, and there's no way for us to verify that or to back it up, but I just have a hunch that those are not the items we're looking for. So this is where we're hoping things really start to super pop. Like, we got a great thing going on. We've gotten some really solid items. Financially, we're in a great situation, and it just keeps getting better, at least for now. But we're looking for a tier effect. I mean, there's a lot of great ones on deals with the Angel that could hit the spot. If I could, even a Holy Light, you know, would be nice. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. You don't need me to go down the list. You know Godhead exists. You know Sacred Heart exists. With all that stuff noted, even like, well, sure. Anyway, just give me a good item. I guess that's that's what I'm asking for. I think this is a situation, though, where we can totally afford to just hold. Like, if we get, if we get a trash deal with the angel, as long as we're surviving, we're not worried about thriving yet, because, I mean, honestly, I already think we're at thrive status. Maybe not at, like, easily killing Mega Satan with 1 HP status, but not overly concerned about it. Anyway, how am I doing? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It is it's Tuesday, September the 21st. Do you remember the 21st night of September? No, I don't. At least not from this year, because it hasn't happened yet. We're still in the daytime. But I do be chasing the clouds away. I've gone on record. I don't know if I would describe myself as a fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire, because I really only know, like, that and Shining Star. But I would say if I were making a list of the top 100 songs of all time, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire would be on the list, no question. It wouldn't even be part of deliberation. I mean, you know what? I think we'll buy it just to make some space. Like, it's decent, and then we get some currency space anyway. It also, if I had to hazard a guess, like, let me be honest, it could be number 1. But I only feel comfortable saying right now that I think it would be in the top 25 easily on my 100 greatest songs of all time list. It's a true gem. I support it. I respect it. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. Stuart Smalley. Just drop there. Hey, dude, they're dropping monies. So, hold on. We got to think about this. We definitely want this early because it's spun. We're killing it, man. I think we want Martin Luther's act of contrition. Allows angel rooms to appear even if a devil deal has been taken. Plus, it's like a tears upgrade, which seems minor, like 0.2, but when you remember you got quad shot here. I mean, did you see how fast that went down? I honestly think we prefer Callus just to avoid, like, the unthinkable happening to us. And we'll head down again. Yeah, it would be on the list. I don't know what would be up there. I'd have to ask on a case-by-case basis. I could tell you what would not be up there. Hotel California by the Eagles. On a long desert highway, click. Changing the station. And then I turn to another classic rock station. This could be heaven or this could be... Click. I click. Turn to the other classic rock station. Johnny used to work in the docks. Click. Next station. Hold on to that feel. Like, okay, so here's the thing. Classic rock, it's a genre I enjoy, okay? A few of the hallmarks of the genre are so overplayed as to be, like, poisonous to me. Am I saying that I think Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi is overrated? No, I'm saying it's bad. Whether it's overrated or not is coincidental. I think if I were... Wait, I've got to figure out how to say this tactfully. I think if I were a wedding DJ, I would be depressed. Because, like, if you're, like, a lifetime wedding DJ and you don't buy in 100% to Bon Jovi, like, you gotta be at the point where, like, for the last 30 years, you've been playing Living on a Prayer at every wedding and going, like, oh, we're halfway there. Oh, and then, like, turning the volume down so that the people on the dance floor can go, oh, living on a... Like, I think, I don't know, maybe it's just my cynicism. Yeah, maybe. That seems like a safe bet. But, like, I think you know, if you're the kind of person that would, like, derive joy from providing that moment to people, that's very nice. I am not. I would be like, I can't believe I'm, for the 3,000th time, I'm playing Living on a Prayer. Help me out here, man. I like, same thing, it's been a while now because of COVID, obviously, but when I go to, like, the Canucks games, and they always play Sweet Caroline, I'm like, I get it. I'm scared. Thank you! That's Charm of the Van. That's 15 cents well spent, IMO. No thank you. Interesting, don't get me wrong. Because, you know, we get money from every enemy we kill. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Ba ba ba, good times never seem so good. Alright, so this seems like exceptional, right? I guess we should have used this for boss rush, but I just like I get that they're, you know, some people, they're going to the game, they go to, like, you know, I mean, I don't go to a lot of Canucks games, I just happen to hear Sweet Caroline a lot, because it's, like, played everywhere, at every event, but, like, I guess I'm the curmudgeon that's like, could you play some, perhaps you could play some Sloan? That would describe how I feel about the Canucks, you know, from 2015 onwards. She was underwhelmed, if that's a word. Okay, hold on. Like, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to see this. I'm thrilled to see Benki. Tears are looking. Ooh, it's holy light. The stars are brightly shining. Dude, this is a run here. This is a run. This is like a Howard Dean 2004 Democrat primary run before the Scream. Like, this is unbelievable. Well, we are not going to make boss rush, so I wouldn't sweat that, the boss rush, teleport card play, the hermit play. I don't hate every overplayed song. I mean, everybody's, you know, they got their guilty pleasures, right? I enjoy the Beatles more than the average hipster, I would say. I find them delightful. Excuse me, thank you. You know what? Just in case. I really doubt we're gonna finesse this, but just in case. We do have our key pieces, you know what that means. We're free to just, you know, play the game as we see fit from this point onwards. I'll probably... Okay, we're not gonna do the... What the heck? There's a lot going on here, man. Dad's key is sadly, like, useless. Which is fine, but it's not what we want. We got a really nice rate of fire. King Baby, kinda interesting. Everything else, kind of irrelevant. I don't know, I guess we'll take, like, Peeper Eye, believe it or not. Like, the higher your purchasing power goes, the more compelled you feel to spend your money on useless garbage. I'm content with this. Anyway. Yeah, so yesterday was a Canadian election. I'm not gonna belabor the point, because we already went through it, but basically, like, you know, it really brings into question, like, you know, what's the purpose of having an election? And I'm not saying it's purposeless, but you know, we did an election that didn't have to be called. Like, the mandate was not necessarily over. We went through a 6-week campaign, and the end results of this election are functionally identical. They're not identical, but they're, you know, very, very, very close to the... Sure. To the government that called the election in the first place. You know, plus or minus, like, a few seats, which is... Hey, I haven't actually looked at the final results yet to see, like, if it actually meaningfully changes, like, what we describe as the balance of power up here. But anyway, long story short, there's a lot of conjecture about why would we even have an election when the results were the same, and you're like, man, I don't know. I never had to think about it before, because it's such a... Most of the time you have an election, it has, like, a meaningful impact on the way things move forward. This time, we basically had an election, and everyone was like, well, not everyone, but the electorate in general was like, let's keep things the same for now, basically. And we're like, okay. I guess it's, I've been thinking about, because people have been saying, like, oh, it's just like a useless election, oh, like, what a waste of taxpayers' money, and I'm like, you know. I would stop shy of saying that, like, an election is only meaningful if it creates some degree of change. Like, I think it's nice to have the ability to weigh in. You know, it's never, like, a wasted opportunity to, like, ask people how they think things are going, I guess, but, you know, see you again in 2 years. when we run it back up here in Canada. We're, like, one of the global leaders in elections per capita right now. Which is, it's, you know, is fine. Look, apparently the election costs, like, overall $600 million. Like, look, it's not an insignificant amount of money. Like, if you wanted to deposit it in my bank account, for example, I would be pretty stoked. On the other hand, I'm like, you know, what is $600 million? That's probably like, you know, what the federal government spends on like Keurig cups every year. That might not be even close to true for the record, but it sounds plausible. It gets the people going. So let's, you know, plus two, really plus two. Oh, thank you so much. We'll take Polaroid just because I want to take the easier path, honestly. I don't want to have to go to the Shoal side of things. Or the Schuyler sisters. Okay, now you hit the space bar. Dude, this varicose veins is making it pop even better here. Have you noticed that? Oh, that was a little spooky. Varicose veins combined with... Whoa, come on, man. We'll just take it anyway, but varicose veins combined with the magic fingers here. Who would have thought, by the way, magic fingers... Tainted Keeper is like some serious gas. And when I say who would have thought, my expectation is that like most people, if they thought about it for like a second, probably would have thought. That's a pleasant room. We're not even like I think if you played your cards right, you could do a lot better than like breaking even, but you know, we're still cruising here, so I'm not sweating it. Torn pocket. Honestly, I'm kind of digging the calluses, which we should use for like purposes like that. Sure, why not? That could actually come in handy. Because the thing is, like, everything's going super well, but a Mega Satan fight is a bit of a a difficulty spike. Sadly, we don't want that. Decreases tear delay in your left eye. Here's the thing. The Boneheart actually just kind of scares me. So I didn't know how that would apply. It might not apply at all to Tainted Keeper, but I thought it was best to just stay away from it. You know, sometimes I feel I've got to dunk stay away, for example. You love to see it. We got living enemies? Like, how does that... Living failures? Now remember, you're going up. Still doing well on money, too. You love to see it. So yeah, I mean, that was... I mean, what else do you want me to say? Like, I was remarking to myself yesterday. That's where, honestly, most of my observations get directed, is, like, internally. But I was like, man... So I was watching the election coverage... on the TV with my baby, and I was like, this is actually like the third election I've watched with my 11-month-old daughter. Like, that's crazy, man. There was the British Columbia, like, we can step on it, what do we care? It was the British Columbia provincial election, like in October 2020. Then there was the US federal election in November 2020, now like the Canadian federal election in September 2021. Like, this baby is good. I gotta be careful, otherwise they're gonna grow up to be like the new CEO of 538, which, you know, for me, I would be like, oh, that's Pog. But, you know, for the audience watching at large, I think they'd be like, we hates the Nate Silver, don't we? I don't know. Hey, well, I'm getting too deep into this. One sec. Pull it out. Hey, so, you know, I've been, speaking of Robert De Niro pulling it out, I watched this movie you might be familiar with. Now, there's a lot of confusion, okay? The movie is called Dirty Grandpa. It's not to be confused with Bad Grandpa, which stars Johnny Knoxville as, like, pretend old man. And it's kind of like half jackass, half, you know, bad Santa. It's also not to be confused with The War with Grandpa, which, very confusingly, is another grandpa-based movie starring Robert De Niro. But I think it's almost more of like a young adult, like, children's movie, whereas Dirty Grandpa is just obscene. Like, genuinely, I'm not easily offended, and in fact, I would draw a distinction. You know, sometimes I think you hear something disgusting, and when you're like, that's not funny. People are like, oh, okay, you know, go back to your safe space where you never hear anything that's even slightly offensive. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm not offended by the content of what's being said. I'm being offended by the fact that this is, like, marketed as a comedy, and they think what passes for comedy is, like, an old man, you know, talking like Lewis Black or something like that. You know, it's just like, no offense really meant to Lewis Black, but like some of this, or Dennis Leary maybe is another good example. Like some of the, it's a movie where Robert De Niro, like he plays an old man, which is in character for him, I would say. His wife just died. Literally, that's a factor for like 4 seconds in the movie, and then it's all about him and his grandson. His grandson plays the straight man in this situation, but it's basically about Robert De Niro's quest to copulate with college girls before he dies. And it's honestly, I mean, I remarked upon it on Twitter, okay? I said, it's crazy that anybody involved with the movie Bad Grandpa still works in Hollywood. And I say that with no disrespect, genuinely. Like, the actors involved, like, come on. TikTok Mr. Wick, Jason Mantzoukas. He's involved. He plays I would say one of the most pivotal supporting roles. I got nothing against Zac Efron, honestly. I think you might if you're like of the age that was like, oh, the cool kids like High School Musical. But I was like already in college by the time High School Musical came out. Nobody was watching High School Musical at my age. That's why I got nothing against the Jonas Brothers. I'm like, hey, man, this seems pretty cool to me. He was in the Jumanji movie. Mr. Jonas Brother. Mr. Jonas B. In the new Jumanji film, where he plays a World War II era pilot. I think, I can't remember. Anyway. But man, it's the writing on that movie is just like so insulting as to be like it's a disaster. If you've ever, it's the reception to Dirty Grandpa was really bad. Okay, like it did not do it did really well at the box office, which is like an indictment of humanity as far as I'm concerned. But it bombed with critics. The fact is, though, that like it's got like 18% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. But of that, 82% that said they disliked it, there's a shocking amount of people, like disproportionately high. I'm just fishing for items, by the way, who said it's one of the worst movies they've ever seen. Like they weren't just like it's a little bad. They were like, this is it's honestly like a travesty, like a borderline. It's a criminal film. In a way, as again, what I would describe as a little bit of a connoisseur of so bad it's good. Turns the player into the keeper for 30 seconds. Let's go. As a connoisseur of movies that are so bad they're good, I would highly recommend Dirty Grandpa. It's horrible. It's god awful. If you watch it with the mindset that, like, I want to see how bad this is, I think you're going to be impressed. By the way, I'm super impressed to see Soul of the Keeper, which is basically, like, it makes it a lot tougher for us. I guess there's no reason not to take Farting Baby, except that he fart and stinky. But Soul of the Keeper is it's going to make it a lot more difficult for us to die. And then I think I know how I want to approach this one. It's going to look a little bit like this. The less I have to deal with basically any enemies here, the better my life is going to be. We don't have money equals power. Ooh, careful. We don't have money equals power or anything, so we don't have like an obligation not to press the spacebar as much as possible. Let's go. Five extra plays, that's nothing to sneeze at, man. What a run. Like, I don't know. People might have thought this one was tough. Tainted Keeper is not bad. We got a great run overall to begin with, but I think a lot of that was underpinned by making good purchasing decisions early on, you know? Who knows the butterfly effect of this run, if you find yourself buying, like, Tiny Toma just because you feel like hey, it's there, I might as well purchase it. So I'm basically trying to get a lot of credit for just playing a very easy run the best way possible. I'll take it. Whatever credit you got, I'll take it. I actually feel like we should pop Soul of the Keeper. And the principal reason is just so we don't have to mess around with it once we're on the fight. When we actually need it. When we actually need it, it's like it's too late. Just chilling. That's what we describe as chilling. Look at that. The chill is happening. I was gonna say I didn't. Hey ref, I didn't hear no ding. Thank you, Slip Drib. Dude, thank God for Soul of the Keeper. Without that, I think we would have been in a very messy situation. As is, easy peasy. We'll not be doing Delirium today, but thanks for the offer. Hey, good run. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will. I'll see you next time. See you.